What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. Let's get into the news of the day. So, before we start off, I just want to say, and a lot of people have been saying this today and this week actually, is that we need to start centering the survivors. I'm getting tired of the Epstein, Ghislaine, and Trump. Everybody's focusing on them, trying to save Trump, trying to give Ghislaine Maxwell whatever the hell she wants so that Trump doesn't get caught up in the web that everybody knows he's in, ADJ. And then Epstein, the man who's dead and has trophies of all the people he used to screw over. And nobody's listening in this whole spectacle. In the media, some people are asking questions and putting up articles and notes that these people have written, the survivors have written, to say, why don't you center us? Let us come to the Senate or to one of the meetings and tell you. I would love to see one by one by one by one. I mean, every last one of them should get a voice that wants to get up there and speak. If there's 1,000, then there'd be a thou wow. That's all I got to say. They all need to be there to say what they say. No privilege. If you want to go, you get to go. That's what I want to see. Because I'm getting tired of everybody trying to soften up Ghislaine Maxwell, who's a monster. Donald Trump being these monsters' friends. It was a monster's ball up in there, bitch. Y'all know it was. They were up there doing all kind of dirty shit. You knew he was like this, Donald Trump, because you're like this, Donald Trump, because Ghislaine Maxwell is like this. Monsters hang together. You're not going to sit here and tell us that Donald Trump's a saint and grabbing women by their vaginas. So if he did that type of shit and thought it was okay, how the hell you don't think he didn't do it to the 13-year-old girl who said he did do it? I'm getting tired of this country believing the men in this situation and don't want to harm the man's life. Fuck that man. It's the child, the woman that we need to protect. That man ain't getting held responsible for his actions. It's the woman having to hold her responsibility, or even this situation, the child, their responsibility, and the responsibility of the person who harmed them. Because everybody don't want to believe them, and just out of nowhere, there is no reason to believe Donald Trump did not harm that 13-year-old girl. There is no reason not to believe that Donald Trump wasn't in on this whole spectacle, this whole scheme of getting young ass models and talking about doing what he did to them, walking into a one of their pageants and shit, and looking at teens unclothed and bragging about it. I would go and talk to Howard Stern too, because him having him on his show, when he told me he walked into a room with a bunch of 14-year-olds, he sounded kind of creepy himself when he responded to that years and years ago. The audio's out there, the video's out there. It was sick then, it was sick now. So I don't give Donald Trump any leeway. I believe the girls. So on my belief of the girls, Trump is a rapist, or in this app I can say rapist. He's a pedophile. He's a womanizer. He's a grifter. He's a 34-time felon. Did I say rapist because Eugene Carroll? Yeah. Those things are true, and some of them are allegations that I believe to be true. My personal belief. I can't prove it in court, but it was a court case, and I believe the court case, even though it may have been thrown out. I believe the court case, because there is no reason to believe Donald Trump, Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Jeffrey Epstein was full of fire. That's why they X'd his ass out, or he X'd himself out. Ghislaine Maxwell, full of fire. Now you're going to tell me that Donald Trump and Melania Trump ain't got nothing to do with these fools, even though they was all up on them? I mean, seriously. I don't know what particular product that Melania Trump was on in this photo, but look at her, high as a kite. high as a kite. Look at her. How the hell you looking like that shit? High as a kite. Yeah, I don't believe a piece of shit they say. Not a damn thing they say I believe. No benefits of the doubt. People have given them the benefit of the doubt for fucking decades upon decades. That shit's over with me. Y'all can give them benefit of the doubts all you fucking want. I do not. That shit's over. Can I prove in a court of law? No, don't need to. Court of public opinion, they're guilty. There is no air of innocence. Donald Trump has his personal lawyer who he's brought in as a sycophant to be the deputy AG to go speak to her. And he's like, oh, I don't know what's happening. Really? Then let him release everything. Oh, I don't want to do that either. I don't even know what's going on. Notice how everything that he's doing, he don't know what's going on. Remember back in the day, Michael Cohen. Remember what Michael Cohen told you that he would do? Michael Cohen said that Donald Trump does not admit anything. He says what he wants you to do and doesn't tell you to do it. Just like he said, things to certain people and said, I didn't ask him to do it. Like Michael Cohen. He didn't ask me to do it, but I know he wanted me to do it because he would just mention it as if it would be good if this could happen. And he knew it needed to be happening. He said, just like a mob boss, so that he can never be actually in any kind of lawsuit because he doesn't write emails, doesn't do things of that nature. So he doesn't have it. That's why Donald Trump trips when he said, oh, I didn't write that letter to Epstein on his birthday. I didn't write that. Because he slipped up and put something on paper that incriminates him. What person, I don't know about you or me, but I mean, I can say for myself, but what person is always worried about what they've written down and don't want to put out emails because they're scared it's going to come back to bite them in the ass? You have to be a person who is criminal minded to be constantly thinking about your emails and it can come back to bite you. What are you saying that can come back to bite you? What are you doing that you're worried about every little transaction you have, you don't want it coming back to bite you? That's criminal behavior, mob boss behavior. So that they're not incorporated in anything that's going on, but they're the recipients of everything that's going on. Crazy how Epstein's got caught twice and Donald Trump has got caught 0, and they all were hanging out together. Donald Trump says, I was nowhere near. I wasn't in those Epstein files. He said it twice. Nope. She didn't say I was in it. Nope. Then we find out at that time he knew for 2 months that he was in it. Not only that, had FBI agents looking through it 24 hours a day, 1,000 of them. Can you imagine 1,000 people having to take 24 hours to look through paper to find his name? I'm like, damn. I thought they put this shit on computer. You could just put this shit on it in the computer system. All you got to do is put in, Donald Trump. It would have told you 6,550 times. You got to hire 1,000 people to do that. They have a digital copy of it. But they went through papers, spent thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands. The way they overcharged, it might have been millions, to find his name, even though he said his name wasn't in it at first. Now they know his name in it, he don't want to release it. They want to give you the grand jury information, knowing the grand jury information will never come out. So they're trying to pass the buck onto a judge that's not going to, go against his duties as a judge. Even though we got Supreme Court justices and other judges that are in Donald Trump's pocket going against the law and giving Donald Trump whatever the fuck he wants. MAGA, you guys are absolutely stupid if you think that your Lord and Savior, Orange Cretin, can't get this information to you because, shucks, the law just won't let me do it. Oh, but the law said don't take 60-something bodies or a total of 100-something bodies out of this fucking country and put them in another place without due process. They said don't do that, and they had no problem doing it. Emil Bove literally said, fuck the law. The judges ain't gonna be able to do shit. Keep it moving. And then they made this dude a judge, appointed for life. A dude who doesn't respect the law is now the head of law, and he's gonna be fucking whoever's gonna bring a case in front of him. You might as well say forget it. I'm like, no, remove, recuse himself. Why? Because he racist. I know he is. I don't have anything to do with it. I can't get a fair trial. There's no way in hell you want to bring shit to that man. But Donald Trump, everybody's been talking about him, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Epstein. But we need to center the survivors. I want to hear what they got to say. It's all over the internet, and some people have been messing with it, playing with it, putting in AI. I want to hear their words, 100%. No, like you could say, oh no, that's AI. No, that's fake news. No, I want to hear it come from their mouths. It would be the most televised, meeting in the House or Senate. It'd be the most televised to have just one after another, after another, after another. America needs to see how horrible these men and Ghislaine Maxwell treated these children who are grown people now. They need to see photos of them when they were children, so you can see what type of person, how cute and innocent they were when these monsters were raping them, beating some of them based on some documentation, right? Selling them to other rich people. Yeah, let's see their pictures when they were little babies and they're grown now. The grown woman is not the one who gave consent or nothing like. No. Look at the child. There was no consent, and that child didn't do anything wrong but try and come and make a little money because what? They're broke, and they thought that it was going to become a model. Just evil. Trader Up said a lot of them committed suicide. I know some. I don't know how many. But the reality is, if they want to come up, they don't have to come up. Of course, if you all moved on with your life, keep moving. Keep on moving. I ain't got no problem with that. But if you want to get justice, they should be able to come to the House or Senate to some meeting and literally voice what happened to them and who did it. Put out the names of these men. I don't know why it hasn't happened yet. I know people are scared, but it is what it is. If you got your voice out there, you should already be scared. If you're scared about it, put it out there so that the world knows who should be watching. Because if you're not saying anything, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to guilt trip you. I just want you to know you're not the only one. These people didn't just rape you and just decide, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore. No, they know they could get away with it, and all they had to pay, whatever his name, either Ghislaine or Epstein, pay him whatever it is, 30,000, 100,000, $1 million, so they could be able to do what they want to do with you, and then you have to go back to school the next day. Come on now. They need to be in jail. Pointed out so they can get it beat out of them. Street justice. Something. Don't let these people get away with this shit, because they don't hurt other children. And they're going to continue hurting other children if they can mask behind something like money. Put them on blast so we can get them off the street. Put them on blast. Another topic that came up, and it happened yesterday, but it came to my eyesight today. I got to see it on my timeline. And how many of y'all saw? Oh, this fool Donald Trump. It's just short bus Donald Trump. This fool came out yesterday, had a little press conference. His press conference was about another chart debacle. Remember back in the day, he took a black marker and drew on. He thought, I promise you, he thought he did a good job. I promise you. I'm telling you, he's one of those remedial children that never got any kind of like accolades. His dad knew he was stupid. His mom knew that something happened to her egg for that motherfucker to be alive. She knew it. She knew it. She tried to take it back. She couldn't. His whole family knew he was useless. His sister, his niece, Mary Trump, knows he's a useless human being. All of them know it. Hell, America knows it. Even MAGA knows it. It's just the fact that they are too. Birds of a feather flock together. If you a Trumper, you just as slow as he is. Just as stupid as he is. You think a man walking around drawing markers on something and telling you that it was printed that way. Everything else straight curves, straight, and it's got a little curve and shit. Another straight line. His shit all wiggly with his old ass and shaking and shit. I'm writing this shit. This dumbass. He's shaking it, and the fucking thing is all weird and shit. Look like it's fucking Florida. I'm like, what is this shit? This little appendage on the side of this place. What the fuck is that? That's nowhere near on anybody's map. And he thought he was doing something, y'all. That's what's so tripped about it. Whose child is this? Mrs. Trump, come back from the dead and take your son. The hell'd you leave us with your little messed up egg? And your daddy's like dilapidated sperm. I don't know how in the hell these two decrepit fucks had this tripped out piece of shit. It is insane. This man. You're going to see him with these charts. I'm about to show it. I'll stop it every once in a while when I'm going through it. But you see this. Slow. He act like he was at a kid pageantry or some shit. Just walked out and I'm going to give my speech today. This right here is a frog, and the frog is this, that, and the third, comes from the swamp. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody want to hear this shit. And you're supposed to be doing shit about science, not biology and fucking animals. This is a science test and shit. What the fuck are you talking about, little frogs? You know you done seen these little kids and you done went to somebody's shit, you be like, that child's slow. Cute, but slow. Just missed the entire assignment. That's where you get your grandmas and black people. I don't know about other people. Black people, poor baby. Sweet thing. Those little terms, because they just knew he like 6 eggs short of a dozen. But he cute though. He might make it. He might make it to something, but he cute. Bless his heart. This right here you about to see is one of those bless his heart moments that your grandma used to say when you or anybody else did something so stupid that they just didn't want to break your heart. They just wanted you to say, bless his heart. All the grown-ups knew she was calling you a dumb fuck. And you was, oh, grandma, give me a hug. You had no clue. Stupid. Not worthy or understanding of adult shit. Donald Trump is a 78-year-old child. 79, I believe now. He is that kid that walks up to his grandma and hugs her when she calls him a dumbass. And he don't know what it means. Check it out. You'll see. Childlike behavior from a 79-year-old president. It's a damn shame.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. We're going to have just a quick session with Steve Moore. Everybody knows Steve Moore with the Heritage Foundation, highly respected, one of the most highly respected.
Okay, let's stop right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump said he had nothing to do with the Heritage Foundation. When I was on TikTok and YouTube and all different platforms last couple of years during Trump, hit the show, Stupid Trump and shit like that. I'm trying to think of the name. I know I just threw it in my head. Translating Stupid. Trump Whisperer, Translating Stupid. When I was doing that, all for 2 years. This man was like, oh, you know, once they put out that document, Project 2025, 900 pages, and we started going, and my mutual started going at it and reading it chapter to chapter. Some of us doing live, some of us reading it ourselves and coming back and doing like a spiel on it live, telling you to go look at whatever chapter and verse. This man at first said nothing. But when everybody started hating it, even MAGA, they're like, I ain't doing this. Like, then he started saying what? I'm not doing anything with Project 25. I don't even know what that is. What's Project 25? Heritage Foundation, what? Don't know anything. I'm doing Project 47. So then you had these little dipshit MAGA people when we were doing, you know, Trump Whisperer, Translating Stupid, or whatever it may be. Other people doing other things. MAGA didn't want to believe. They said, you got fake news. He don't want anything to do with Project 2025. Nobody cares about that little whack, you know, think tank. Nobody caring about that. MAGA said that to me back in the day in my comments. Nobody thinking about that place. They crazy. I'm like, oh, okay. And now he all cozied up with him. He always has been. But where MAGA at? Where MAGA? The ones who were going all up in my comment sections for the past 2 years when I was doing, you know, Trump Whisperer, Translating Stupid. Where the fuck were y'all at now? When I'm right. When I was not a little bit right, not even 0.5% right, I was 100% right. Or let me give numbers like Donald Trump. I was 5 million times 75 trillion% right. You were wrong. Project 47 was not a part of his fucking plan. You ain't heard him say nothing about it. And when he gets into trouble, and the world is saying, Donald Trump, you're fucking up the economy. I thought you were supposed to be fixing it. MAG is kind of mad, and they're getting upset because their sheep fever broke over this Epstein shit and Donald Trump being all in it and acting shady and becoming like super swampy. And they're throwing everything to stick on the wall to try and see if you can get away from it. This man is coming out with bogus numbers. He out here trying his best to get them off his back. Stop talking about it. He even called them stupid. Once he realized, they said, was it Charlie Kirk? No, it wasn't Charlie Kirk. It was the other dude who's a racist. Came out and said, fuck you, Donald Trump, you fat. Oh, he came out and said, fuck you, Donald Trump, you fat. I was dying, y'all. I was dying. I promise you, Nick Fuentes, I promise you, I watched that video back to back. I helped his algorithm big time. Because all I just kept going back. He said, you fat fuck. You stupid. I was like, been trying to tell you the whole time. Then he said the libs were right. I was like, boy, he had to have a stroke or some shit right after that live. Went back and watched that. Be like, man, what the fuck happened to me? What was I on? I was tripping on some sharp or something. What the hell was I doing? But yeah, Donald Trump putting all these damn numbers out here. And you know, talk about Stephen Moore. This dude is a part of Project 2025. And he's got something to show you. I got some new numbers. Look at here, fellas. Look at here, ladies. Let's get it.
Economists and people that watch your money and know more about your money and your life than probably anybody I can think of. And I want to thank Steve for being here. I saw this today. They came out. What he puts out gets a lot of coverage, and I saw some of them, and then he had a couple of others. And
I want you to understand something. Listen to what he's saying. What he does gets a lot of coverage. This dude's a pundit on, like, used to be on CNN, but it became, or CNN and one of those damn mainstream media. And then, you know, he got to a point where he was a little wacky on his numbers and shit or whatever. Always, even when things went low for Trump, he would try his best to kind of make, well, it could be good. It's a good number. Even though it was bad, he'd be like, well, it's bad, but, you know, it could turn around. It could really turn around. I mean, it's a good thing if A, B, C, and D happens. And he'd be like, he recently was on Fox doing something like that when the like, I think it was in the stock started falling and shit like that. He was like, well, it could be good. That's because he works for Project 2025. The economy in which they're trying to build, this fool was a part of the team that put that Project 2025 shit together. You think he ain't got nothing to save? He got his reputation to save off this shit. You don't think when those numbers came out, Donald Trump didn't call the Heritage Foundation and say, what the fuck are y'all doing? I gave y'all all the rights to do every fucking thing. You know I don't know how to fucking read. How the fuck are my numbers going down? Fix this shit. And these dipshits realize we're a bunch of dipshits. The fuck? I thought our shit would work. So they put together in 5 or 6 days a bunch of numbers. And his little spiel at the beginning, he's respected and everybody loves him. And you ain't selling shit to me. I don't buy snake oil. That's some MAGA shit. But he tried to tell you, well, his stuff is like everybody likes it and everybody gets to see it and everybody respects it. No, nobody, no. Stations have stopped using him except for Fox. And he didn't used to do Fox that much. Now he's on there all the time when they need an economist. Because what? Fulfill the propaganda. Even when shit is bad and you can't do anything about it, when stocks fell, this asshole was trying his best to say, but it might come back up. Why? Because you're the one, along with Howard Lutnick and the other guy, coming up with this whole scheme that you think is going to work. We're the lab. Like you're doing us like the, no disrespect to animal lovers, but like the test rats. America's the test rats for these dipshits' ideas of what the economy could be if their plan was implemented. And it's not falling in line with the way they thought it was going to be. So here we got Stephen Moore, one of the architects of Project 2025 that Donald Trump says he has nothing to do with, but somehow comes out and praises the guy. Once the real numbers come from BLS, Bureau of Labor and Statistics, this guy comes out with some Census Bureau data that nobody else has seen but him.
I'd like to ask Steve maybe to discuss a few of these numbers that were just released. I mean, literally just released. And then we're going over and we're going to do Purple Heart. We have some incredible, brave people that I look forward to. So we're going to do that right after this. Steve, could you say a few words about the various charts?
Thank you, Mr. President. So I called the president because I had some very good news from some new data that we've been able to put together.
Listen to that. Some new data that we've been able to put together. Where does data come from, bruh? Where does data come from? Some new data that we put together. You had 6 days, bro. 6 days. The numbers came out August 1st. The numbers came out August 1st. This right here came out August 7th. You're telling me in 6 days, you got May's data, you got June's data, right? And you got July's data. And you mulled over it because that's not your job, bro. That is not your job to get these stats at all. You're not a part of the Bureau of Labor Statistics whatsoever. You don't do anything with that organization whatsoever. So out of 6 days, you got access to data that nobody else has. Not even the Bureau of Labor Statistics, because he said nobody else has it. And the Bureau of Labor Statistics has all the data. And he's saying nobody has it but him. How is it that you have data that the BLS doesn't have? So how are you validating this crap you're talking about, you're about to spew to us? They didn't think this through. Think about it. How dumb do you have to be or desperate to get in front of a camera and tell people that the professionals who do this job, which is 40 of them from what I've been told, the lady that they fired is not the one who does the math. She's the one who reports it. She's the boss that has these 40 professionals who are economists that are looking and mulling over data. And then after they mull over it, they come to some kind of conclusion or of one particular section that they're working on. Then they have to have that validated, which the lady who they let go, McIntyre or something like that. Sorry, I messed up her name. But then she comes in to validate their situation, all vote on it, and then it all comes out based upon the data of a strategical plan and stats that have been there for decades upon decades. There ain't no new mathing situation. It's decades upon decades that we relied on. The rest of the world relied on this data. That made us the more like trusted. The rest of the world trusts these numbers because our number system, the way we did our shit, there was no real flaws that people could fuck with. They're trying to give you, because they overestimated 258,000 jobs or whatever it may be. That's how the system works, ladies and gentlemen. Since we've been doing this, that's the job. And you want them to do that job because guess what? If data keeps coming in, you get a better understanding of how the market works. And if you readjust, then you make sure that you're actually where you are economically. If they never went over this data and got all the new data and they still had those minus and still had those 258,000 plus, we wouldn't know how the economy's actually doing. The fact that they're doing their job and readjusting and readjusting and readjusting and making sure that the data matches, it tells me that they're doing their fucking job. They're working. And they have no problems of effing up. Because if they F up, they fix it. Donald Trump wants you to F up, and if it's to his favor, keep it. That's the big deal. But that is the system. It's always been the system. Ain't nothing new. They try to make it seem like when Donald Trump was president, this was the exact same system. They don't come in and treat a new system. They come in with new people who know how to work the system. People who are experts at economy, right? They're economists professionally. And Donald Trump wants a guy that came up with the idea of this tariff crap that we're going through. Him and a group of people in that think tank came up with this crap that we're going through. And he wants that guy to explain to the world and give him validation. Oh, it's a great guy. Listen to him. No, fuck him. Stephen Moore, fuck you and your entire lineage. Because I can see straight through you. You have no confidence in what you're putting out there. Look at your body language. Head down, hands together. You're closed up, bro. You got your hands together all closed up because that's the way it is. That's the way you feel. You're doing this shit. If these were real numbers and you're an economist, and especially you're the one who kind of helped, you would be excited. You'd be over here, look at this, and we're doing this, and blah, blah, blah. Well, no, you're closed up because you know you're lying, Stephen Moore. You know you're lying. You know it for a fact. But we're going to continue to listen to him. Watch him. You'll see. This man is a weasel, and Donald Trump is a snake.
That no one has ever seen before, and I'll just very quickly go through these. So I was telling the president that he did the right thing in calling for a new head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, because this shows that over the last 2 years of the Biden administration, the BLS overestimated job creation by 1.5 million jobs. That's
okay. Like we said, every time they do this, they didn't want to go back beyond 2 years because they wanted to give you what Biden is going through. I guarantee you, in Donald Trump's era, they did just the same or way more, because that's how the system works. The data comes in, right? They don't make up data. The data comes in, and that's how they justify it. They have surveys. These surveys are sent to them like religiously. And it's usually like 120-something thousand businesses, 122, I want to believe, and a few other places that they get these surveys from every time. They're supposed to have them before the 12th of every month, the week of the 12th. So whatever it is, they say if the 12th is Friday, whatever it is, they say they would get it on like Monday on the 7th. That's the week of the 12th. They get it like on Monday on the 7th. And then from there, they have up to 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks, to be able to figure out all the numbers and data that they got. Well, guess what? Humans sometimes don't do what you ask them to do. And if you're a business, oftentimes your accountant or whomever may get busy, may say fuck it, and don't turn it in until the 8th, the 12th, the 14th. And you're like, what? This bitch didn't turn it in till the 15th? It's the week of the 12th. That means the 7th, bitch. She turns it in, or Dick, he turns it in on the 7th. He turns it in on the 18th. Those numbers can't be put into the bank because we've been working on the numbers from the 7th through the 12th. We don't put everything together. We can't take that data point yet. Can't do it because we already don't put all the math together for when the people who turned it in on time. And if you got 122,000 or so, and 80,000 give you their numbers, then you go off to 80,000. And then the next month, if you find out that the rest of them, you keep on calling, but hey, you didn't turn your numbers for May. You didn't turn your numbers for May. They finally get it. You finally get all the numbers in. You got to go back, do the math, figure it all out, adjust, and say, oh shit, we estimated 115,000 jobs more than it actually was. Why? Because the ones who turned in lost jobs, cut jobs, no jobs, closed down, all that shit. Now the numbers go the opposite fucking way. And no matter how good or bad it may make you look, their job is to give you the facts. And what do we like here? Straight facts, no chaser, fuck your feelings. That's the problem. Donald's feelings got hurt that he thought he had these plush numbers, but they did their fucking job and brought it back because their responsibility is to the people to make sure that the economy is working well. And if you find out when the rest of the data comes in, which depends upon the people who turn their surveys in, they're not going out there and arresting people to give them their surveys. But once they turn them in, they adjust. They just don't throw them out with the bathwater. They adjust them. That's the system. And that's what makes America a great system. Because again, in that particular, in the economic aspect, because the numbers aren't fucked with. They are what they are. When the companies send them in, we got them. But if they don't send them in on time, we can't be waiting. Those numbers aren't going to wait. You get 122,000 business owners supposed to turn something in and 50,000 turn them in. You got to do it out to 50,000. What you going to do and say, well, we can't have the June numbers because we only got 50,000 people. The economy can't wait. They need some information. And you got to go off of the 50,000 people who turned in, and that may be a gigantic plus. They may be happy that they created 20,000 jobs, 50,000 jobs, and boom, it looks big. But the ones who took a long time, just like anything else, if you owe money in taxes, you filling that shit out April 15th at 11:59 p.m. or whatever time they tell you got to turn it in. You're going to turn it in then because you owe money. You're going to keep it as long as you can. When your numbers are bad, you turn that shit in late. And that's what these businesses are doing, turning their stuff in late. They can't have their numbers added into it for that month. Then we get an adjustment. They're trying to make it seem, and this Stephen Moore guy knows that. He's an economist. And you can learn this too by just looking it the fuck up. But they think their people are so stupid. They think he put all this shit together in 6 days. What squad does this fool have? How many people, how many economists are working with him? Because the BLS has 40. And it takes them longer than 60 days, or 6 days to put these numbers together. It takes them 3 weeks with 40 people and a tier of people who validate what they're doing before they give the numbers to the American people, to the world, because the whole world looks at these numbers. But this dude just told the whole world on a bunch of blow up fucking charts that he has some new data that nobody else has. Every economist in every country and every business person looked at this shit and said, next. The fuck you talking about? I ain't gonna go off no damn chart you just made at Kinko's. Negro, please.
Mr. President, that's a gigantic error. And I don't know if she's, I'm not.
It might not have been an error, that's the bad part. If it was an error, it would be one thing. I don't think it's an error. I think they did it purposely.
Oh my God.
Whether that, you may well be right, but
Oops.
even if it wasn't purposefully, it's incompetence.
Right.
Okay, so 1.5 million jobs overestimated. We have access to
Told you, look at him. Look. He got to do his Vanna White. Look at here. I got a charty chart. I know what I'm doing. Look. Stupid fuck.
We have access to the some data that no one else does on what has happened month by month with median household income. This is based on unpublished Census Bureau data. It will be released sometime in the next 6 months. But
Unpublished census data. It will be released in the next 6 months. So you got 6 months to be able to find out data that you collected for May and June. Think about that for a second, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to take you, the BLS gives us monthly data for the previous month. And you're trying to tell me that the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, who gets data from the Census Bureau, doesn't have this data that he's talking about that needs 6 months to do. What organization spends 6 months to find out data for the month by month? That would literally tell me that if the numbers come out for May and June, you're telling me that I'm going to have to wait 6 months to really get May's numbers. But wait a minute, you got May's numbers, but I'm not going to release May's numbers until 6 months after. So you're giving us numbers that nobody else has, the professionals who have to keep this country and the world in order to let us know how our economy is going. 6 months later, they know. But you got the jump. You got a 6 month jump on all the organizations that do this for a living. Boy, if you don't shut the fuck up, you living in some kind of crazy, like, you in Delulu land. How the hell you got information 6 months before it comes out to every professional in the fucking world? Look at him. You know this dude lying. Does the Bureau, right, of Labor Statistics have data that we do not see? Yes. Do they get data from the Census Bureau that we do not see? Yes, because it's a part of the mathematical equation. You don't get to know all the data points that they get. You get to know how they decipher said data. You see how the Bureau of Labor Statistics, they came out and they made it public to everybody, the data. They do it every year, have been doing it every year. They've been doing it, well, every year they've been doing it, but they do it every month, and they've been doing it for fucking decades upon decades. This is the way it goes. But nope, when Donald Trump gets into office, all of a sudden the system just doesn't work like it's been working before this dipshit gets into office, because he doesn't know how it works. You need to paint with pictures and shit for this bitch to understand it. Could you please help me understand it? This is how Donald Trump is being taught by these fools. By pictures and numbers. Fucking coloring books is how they're teaching him. How stupid do you have to be as a grown-ass man? And they're drawing cartoons for you to know your daily fucking job. This is what white privilege gives you guys. A dipshit in office that has no fucking clue what he's doing. Putting up charts. Just made up. Just made up charts. Gonna tell you the boogeyman gonna show you in 6 months. Santa Claus gonna come out and hand this to you in 6 months. Gonna give you all the information. No other professional can get the data that he's got. It's gonna take 6 months for them to get it, but he's got this magical, Wizard of Oz ticket. Better yet, Willy Wonka, he's got the golden ticket. He got a golden ticket. That's what he's got. The golden ticket to economics. No other fucking economic person in the fucking planet has it but him. Who took this information? Because if the people gave it to you, all they got to do is give it to the rest of the economists. But no, you got the golden ticket Willy Wonka version. The fuck is wrong with these people? He really thought people were going to take on to this shit. It's over the head of his dipshit MAGA. And for people with a brain, it's way beneath them. They see a 4-year-old telling his mom and dad how to make macaroni and cheese when he don't know what it is. Or better yet, remember when you was a kid and they used to give you macaroni and glue and you make your own little pictures? That's what this shit is. That's what it reminds me of. Donald Trump with his little macaroni glue pictures. Look at here, mommy. Look what I got. It was cute when you was a kid. 78, 79? Bruh. Nope. Short bus material. Short bus material, bruh.
We get an advanced look at it. And so I was telling the president in his first 5 months in office, starting in January through the end of June, the average median household income adjusted for inflation for the average family in America is already up $1,174. That's an
incredible number.
Y'all got $1,174 in your pocket? I don't know where you would get it from because I ain't got any additional money anywhere. It came from me. Where'd it come from? We got more in our pocket. From what? I mean, most of us make our money from working. Did you get a raise? I didn't get a raise. Did you? So, we got more money in our pocket from where again? See, one of the bigger problems that the Democrats had, that we had, when our economy was good before Donald Trump came in and fucked it all up, we had actual numbers and stats on our side. But what we didn't have is that we couldn't speak dipshit. See, we needed to speak fluent dipshit, meaning like what Donald Trump speaks. We should have walked up to them and said, dollar, money, more. And they would have been like, oh my God, I get it. Dollar, money, more. And they would have been like, we got more money. Less is more with them. Money up. They get it. But tell them that tariffs is a tax and you're about to lose your cash. Tariff, tax, cash? What is he saying? Donald Trump came out and said, you're going to make more money with taxes, with tariffs. Going to bring in lots of money. Money, more money. All disjointed. They fucking got it. We don't speak dipshit. He speaks fluent dipshit because he's the king of dipshittery.
Just came out.
Just came out. So that's a giant game.
And if I would have said this, nobody would have believed it. There's your number.
There's your number.
We're doing well.
So the next one compares, we finally have the 2024 data on what happened with real family income in the United States. And so what I did was I compared the record in Donald Trump's first term with the Joe Biden first term. And you can see that, by the way, these dotted lines here, Mr. President, that's COVID. So if it had not been for COVID, these numbers would have been substantially better. But even taking account President Trump's last year in 2020, we saw a $6,400 real after inflation gain in income for the average family. And that compares with Joe Biden, which was a measly $551. So, Mr. President, you gain 10 times more income for the average family.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is some of the dumbest shit I ever seen. This man, I want you to see on this chart. This man tells you, look at the red number, and that goes all the way up to here, right? Up here. And then when he said, Donald Trump, over here in the little picture, you see the picture? You see it? Picture pages. You see it right up at the top. Okay, come here, little dipshit. Come here. Come here, boy. See right up at the top there, right there? That's where it was for COVID. You get it? You want a doggy? Want a doggy biscuit? Go ahead. But anyway, turn over, roll over every once in a while. Do this right here. That's right there. That's it. That's where the okay. Now you see where it falls down to. You see where it goes off the chart where it's 6,000. Blah blah blah. The next 2 years was Joe Biden. So wouldn't the money start up there and start going down as opposed to starting down and going up? How do you go to the end of Donald Trump's years and have 6,000 right there and don't start off with Joe Biden being at 6,000 and going down or going up? He has this man starting at the same place that Donald Trump started. How the fuck that work? It would have to start at 6,000 and go down. How is it that Joe Biden comes in lower? Look how low that is. You see where it starts, a blue? It's down where Donald Trump first started. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, am I tripping? Am I tripping? You go from whatever he was to $6,000. I'm getting this picture. $6,000 up at the top. And then Joe Biden comes in, right? As soon as Joe Biden comes in, his money don't start at 6 something. It starts down where Donald Trump started. That ain't a thing. It would start where Donald Trump started, where Donald Trump left off. So you try to tell me it dropped down to almost zero immediately after he left? And then it came back up a little bit? Donald Trump left when we were still going through COVID. People were still working from home. It was Joe Biden who opened up the economy and got everybody out to work again because he had organization, whereas Trump had nothing but stupidation. Dipshit world. He couldn't figure it out. But once Joe Biden came in, threw people into place that knew what the fuck they was doing, our country started smoothly going up. And this fool right here is saying that Joe Biden took on where Donald Trump left off, but he started where Donald Trump started. 2017, he started in 2017 where Donald Trump left off. No, bruh. Okay. Whatever, y'all. Whatever. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. I thought this dude was bright. Either that, he trying to make us look stupid because that chart is off. Just by the way it looks, the number should be 6,000 something, where it starts at. And then if you want to say that Joe Biden messed up the economy, then it goes down, not up. And when the number ends up, even if it's slightly going up, it's less than what Donald. Boy, that don't even make any sense.
And Joe Biden is because of your policies.
And that's taken into consideration COVID,
Yep.
which a lot of times you don't have to do that.
Yeah, because
but
we were up,
I'm very glad you did.
we were
that.
up over
No, we were
almost
at-
8,000 until.
Look at that number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take your little slow kid.
So
Wait a minute. Where your
then we
picture at?
looked at which families did the
didn't
best.
take
And we have data from the Census Bureau that shows by income percentage. So the 25th percentile is the lowest income, 75th percentile is the highest income. And what I find fascinating about this, Mr. President, is every income group did better. The red is President Trump, the blue is President Biden. Every single income group did better under President Trump. But what's really amazing is look what happened under Biden. The lowest income group lost income under Biden. They were poor 4 years after Biden's presidency. No gain virtually whatsoever for the middle.
He said they were poorer after Joe Biden's presidency. And since January, their number kicked back up to that red number right after that. They lost jobs. When did they start creating jobs? Donald Trump came in and started firing people. When was the major hiring spree? I don't remember this shit. It never resonated in the numbers and the jobs numbers. Where are they getting these additional, we lost money, but we made money? as soon as you came in. It's been 8 months, bruh. He's talking about a month later. I think this chart has a month later. Somehow negative jobs to a shit ton of jobs. When did we go on a hiring spree? We've been cutting back. Prices been going up. Tariffs, like freaking first month or so, this man came up with tariffs, and we lost, our economy lost like a shit ton of over like 10, 12% or some shit, something crazy. Then it started coming back up because he started pulling the tariffs back. Once Japan started selling their bonds, this fool was like, oh shit, gotta pull off. Pull up, pull up, pull up. And he dropped out and just kept on making, that's how he got that term of taco. Trump always chickens out, because once he saw Japan sell their bonds, he started promising 90 days, 60 days, 90 days, 60 days, and then having to keep changing it up because Japan started selling the bonds. And if our dollar gets weaker, we have less power, which means we can't really throw any kind of sanctions on anybody, because our dollar will be weaker than whatever it is, the euro, the BRICS or whatever. Then they'll just start getting money from BRICS if it becomes the main dollar for them, or the main use of currency. They're playing with America's power by lessening our dollar. And they think they're going to just stretch the hell out of America's dollar real quick and fuck everything up to a point, and then they're going to just pull up and they'll be good to go. Some of these countries are going to be found another way, because, again, think about it for a hot second. If America keeps fucking with other countries a way like this, they're going to think America every 4 years is going to have a fucked up president. Why go into a roller coaster, America? Because they ain't going to get it right. We need to go with somebody slow and steady. Because whatever party comes in, we still got a steady hand. That's where we need to go. And guess what? Every country, Japan, they have a slow and steadier hand. China, they have a slow and steadier hand. All these other countries, a slow and steadier hand. We're the ones that every 4 years or so, we're putting in a dipshit and fucking up the economy. We don't put one in there twice. So what other country can look at us and say, I can trust that country? They can't, because the moment, let's say, a Democrat comes into office, they're worried about that next Republican. They ain't caring about the next the Democrat. They're gonna be like, where's the next Republican coming in? Oh, yeah, MAGA again? Nope. Because they know once Donald Trump is gone, however God or the devil decides to take him, who's going to fulfill his place? And the people who are going to fulfill his place, they're going to have the same agenda. You think they work 50 years or so to come up with with the strategies that they put together into Project 2025, and they put all that work into a 79-year-old white dude that's as dumb as a brick? No. Not at all. They want this shit to continue. They're not just going one shot. They want it to continue. And that's what other countries are smart enough to realize, that if America continues to let Republicans with these mindsets lead, there is no reason these countries should be following us. And I agree with them. If I'm a leader of a country, I'm like, fuck America. Dude, they ain't got it together, man. They used to be the steady hand. Now they crackheads. We can't deal with the crackhead shit. They take a hit of this orange dude, and it's like, nope, can't handle it. I'd rather trade or not have shit. Now, we don't need phones. Now, we got our own shit. We just buy China's phones. Fuck it. Fuck Apple. We ain't got time for it. I would do that. I ain't got time for people to keep taking me up and down, just like a bad relationship. Got time for that shit.
Middle class, and the rich was the only group that did better under Biden, which is ironic because Biden keeps saying he was trying to get rid of income inequality. He made income inequality worse, not better. It was President Trump that reduced income inequality.
These numbers just came out, by the way.
Yep. And then finally, these are the numbers just I just showed you in percentage terms. Mr. President, these are the numbers in dollar terms. So even the lowest income.
He's pitching to Donald Trump. This right here is a pitch session to give Donald Trump some positive numbers. These numbers just came in because he's just now seeing them. He don't know anything. All he know is, I got some good numbers for you. I can make you feel better, Donald Trump. Get a hit of this, ego boost. Because this dude, he is straight up on a drug called ego. And they keep on giving him a hit so his ego can grow, so he can get high off this ego shit. Because these numbers are trash. All they are, it's a one man. He said, come over here, Donald Trump. Come here, boy. Come here. Look at this. I got some more shit for you. And Donald Trump's just there. Thank you. That's Donald Trump. That's the leader of America. America, you must, MAGA. There's no way you love America putting this dipshit the head of it. You hate America. Because there's no way in hell you would have your children babysat by that dipshit. He couldn't get near your kid. You wouldn't let this dude babysit your Rottweiler. You know it. But you got him running the country.
25% gained about $4,000 in income. That's a lot for a lower income family. $6,400 for the middle class and almost $10,000 for the richest. So you can see every income group did better under Trump than Biden by a wide margin. That's the story.
I think when you look at them, they're all...
Yeah, that's the story. He taps his little shoulder. No, sir. Or that's not the story. That is a lie. Yeah, that kind of story. But that's not the facts. That's not the facts. This man, who in here got more money in the past year? Other than, did your job give you a raise? How'd you get more money? Your tax bracket didn't go down. The prices of things haven't went down. So you didn't get more money out of that. I'm trying to figure out how you got all this money. How you get $6,000 more money? Where'd it come from? Donald Trump is throwing tariffs on shit. There's sneakflation right now. I guarantee you. I just went shopping today. The milk I used to buy at Trader Joe's was $2.99. That shit's $4.99. That ain't fucking lower. Bacon was higher. Eggs were higher. Carbonated like water and shit like that I normally get from there, higher. Ain't shit lower. So how we doing better? Not getting a raise for well over 40 years. Prices going up. Tariffs are going in, and people are already charging us up some, like, again, milk $2 more per gallon. Gas prices are high. Come on now. Inflation is up. So how do you have inflation going up and we're saving money? I mean, who is this stupid? Watch this at the end. This fool.
Well, something, but this one chart really says it better than anything. If you look at this is great, but this chart is pretty amazing right here.
Thank you, Nina, for the gift. He wanted to show you this chart right here. Had to go over and take pictures with the chart that shows the economy went up, and according to Stephen Moore, which he's a complete liar and a sycophant, and gave you this crappy speech just to make his ego feel better. Because they want Project 2025 to keep going. And I guarantee you, Donald Trump is like, y'all want me to keep supporting this bullshit y'all doing? You need to come out here and make me look good. And that's what they did. Came up with numbers to make him look good. No validation. Nobody can check it. It's trash information. 6 months? 6 months from now, ain't nobody thinking about these numbers, because the other numbers that come out are going to be trash too. They're going to be lies, because Donald Trump fired the person who reports it to you. He's going to put somebody in place that is going to rig the numbers for the next time that Donald Trump has these numbers. Next month's numbers are going to be fake. And you're going to have people, those 40 economists that are working, are going to start quitting because they're not going to have these numbers. They're not going to be sitting here, can't give you that. That's my reputation. This shit ain't right. The economy's going to fucking explode with you telling them that all these jobs have been created when it's down to negative jobs. When it's down with the economy just going to hell in the handbasket. This fool's going, oh yeah, we got 600 million jobs. We don't have 600 million people, dude. But yeah, they do. They got 2 and 3 jobs each. It's 600 million. All right, bro. All right. Whatever you say, dipshit. Whatever you say. That's what we have to deal with. This dude, we have to deal with. He literally came out to all the world with these charts. And I want you to know something, because I didn't want to play it all, because he had a Q&A session right after this. Quick Q&A session. And after that Q&A session, well, during that Q&A session, after his little speech there, nobody asked about these charts. Not one. They went on to Bibi Netanyahu and other things, but not one question about the charts in which he just presented to them. Now, one is a reason behind that. They just dismissed him. Like, dude, we ain't answering about this. Shit's the dumbest. Ain't none of this shit. Nobody else can check it. Ain't even give it no airtime. That shit just gonna die right here. We ain't gonna talk about it. It's gonna die right here. And we're gonna go to our prospective stations and talk shit about you the rest of the day. But we ain't gonna bring up the numbers. We're just gonna basically say he had numbers that nobody else has. Yeah. And we're supposed to believe it, because Donald Trump is a bastion of facts. Outside of that, we have Bibi Netanyahu. I want to ask questions about those, because I know nobody's in the room here that knows me or subscribe to me, or have anything to do with this. I'm talking about outside of that. The far left people, the people who threw up watermelons and that's all good, you know what I'm saying? But they kind of some of them turned on Kamala Harris, saying, that she wasn't going to do anything, even though Kamala Harris was the only one that said she wanted a two-party state. Kamala Harris said that she was going to work toward that, and that Bibi Netanyahu needed to, make sure that, there's a ceasefire and things of that nature. She was fighting for that, right? And every time you turn around, Joe Biden was saying something about it too. At the time that they were saying that Trump was not saying he was going to do anything. And I know these far leftists were saying, we wasn't going for Trump. I understand that. But most of these people who were on that side were young. I get it. But the reality is, somebody in their family should have told them how politics works. This insane, like, blind, aspirational, like, we're going to take a stand, like there's going to be a change if I take a stand. No, you usually take a stand to not give the worst people power. Because, again, when you look at what Donald Trump had to offer, while he was running, his son-in-law was looking at property in Gaza, talking about we can turn it into a Trump hotel or something like that, while you guys were still living on it. They were thinking about plotting, buying this property. See, this property is worth a lot of money right now. A lot of money. Why? Because Trump and his minions and these billionaires here are looking for property to expand. You think all that rubble that somebody's going to invest in Gaza, in Palestine? They're trying to destroy everything you got. No bank standing, no nothing. You're starving. How you going to get money? The money that you did have is blown the fuck up. You think they're going to give it back to you? Hell no. So if you had money in Palestine, if you didn't get a chance to escape and take your money with you, you broke as fuck now. And that was the plan. Donald Trump and his son-in-law said that this was going to happen. They trolled you guys, saying that, Donald Trump, Elon Musk was sitting out on the beach in Gaza right in front of the Trump hotel or whatever it was, casino, whatever that thing was, all in gold. And you leftists who said they weren't going to vote for Kamala, knowing that a non-vote for Kamala is a vote for Trump. You either was just as dumb as MAGA, or you did this shit on purpose to kind of make a point. But what point did you make other than a dipshit point? Because the reality is, under Joe Biden, they were still figuring things out and getting hostages out. Under Donald Trump, they're talking about killing them all or getting them off the property completely. They're taking over Gaza. That's their plan. And Donald Trump is just sitting there doing abso-fucking-lutely nothing. Just like Democrats told everybody, specifically the 92% black women and over 87% black men, told you this is what this man was going to do. If you were thinking that she's just as evil as Donald Trump, I said she's the lesser of the two evils that's going to be. But the people you guys said you was going to vote for, everybody told you they were going to disappear. They were going to disappear. And what happened to them? The one pothead lady, haven't seen her. She ain't doing nothing and fighting nothing that we don't know about because she ain't out nowhere. Marianne something, right? Jill Stein, sitting with Putin. Where's she at? Probably sitting on Putin's lap right now. But you guys, oh, I'm going to vote for her. Yeah. She gave you what you wanted to hear. And ain't none of y'all been mad at Jill Stein. I haven't seen you here. I ain't seen you here that she suckered you into a vote and then disappeared for a few presidencies in either all the way up to Obama or was it after Obama? There's been 3 elections, and she's been in them to divide the Democrat vote. You see, one thing I realize about both parties, looking at it from the outside, looking in, even though I'm in the Democrat Party, but I'm kind of on the outs with it and have been for a minute, is that the Republicans will fall in line, even if they don't like the guy. And I love about the Democrats, we don't fall in line, we'll do our homework. But what we're separated from behind, because we got our dipshits in our party too, but what we're separated on is hot-headed, far leftists that don't give a damn about people. They give a damn about just their ideology. Like, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I'm like, is it going to help the people? Well, I don't know. I just think it would be great. But will it help the people? Have you thought it through to help the people? They have not thought of a plan. It just sounds good. No strategy. It just sounds good. They're aspirational, but they aren't strategic. And so you got the far left that are aspirational. Some of these things I like, sounds good. Healthcare for everybody sounds good. How we do it? Then fucking figure out a plan so therefore we can have it. Just saying it don't do anything. They never come up with a plan. They just talk about it. And that's why they call them the far leftists and liberals, and they won't deal with them. Then you got the ones who are strategic and there's a swath of them and want something that may be liberal to some degree, but not far left. And they still don't really have a plan, but they like, we can figure it out and we'll pay for it and blah, blah, blah. But at least they have some kind of structure as to how they're going to do it. Maybe it's the ACA, Medicare, Medicaid. We can extend it for everybody, blah, blah, trying to figure it out. Then you got the centrists that are kind of like, that's a little too far left. I'm a little conservative and that. And then we got the conservatives of the Democrat Party. That's way too far to the right. They're freaking like Democrats. They're like Republican, but they're like snitches and spies in the Democrat Party. The Joe Manchins and the cinema. They were Republicans that were spies for the Democratic Party. Or for the Republican Party was in the Democrat Party. So we got all of that, and we can't come together, can't unify. And without any unification, we're going all 1,500 different directions. The dipshits that fall in line win. That's why a minority of people beat a majority, because our majority has too many split dumbasses in it. They can't sit here and say, you know what? We have got to come up with giving something to the liberals, giving something to this, giving some of this, giving some of this, giving something to the far right of our country, our party, giving something to each person, even though you may not like it, far right person in the Democrat Party. Even if you don't like it, you got to give them a win. Come together, and then you can make something happen. Otherwise, we fall the fuck apart. What I don't like is hearing Democrats talk shit about their own party, saying this part is too left. I'm like, what's so too left about it? I asked you, go look up a far left person and what they want, and then listen to a Pelosi or Schumer, and listen to them, and they sound like they're a Republican when they're talking about what they particularly want. I'm like, there's some things they want that is crazy, but and I don't even see anything really crazy. I'm just saying it's like there's no path to it. Crazy in a way of they haven't came together with the people who all the way from the far left to the far right. They can't see anything eye to eye. And that right there is a problem, a division. You got Republicans who used to make sense that will eat a piece of shit in front of Donald Trump if you ask them to. That's a far too much than I would expect the Democrats to do. But I'm just saying, look at them. They're going against the rule of law. The party of law and order right now is hiring criminals for our legal department. They're approving Emile Beauvais, who said, fuck lawyers. Fuck judges. Do it anyway. He would be a judge now. Wouldn't he want somebody to pay attention to the rule of law that he decides to say, you know what, I think we should not do this. And somebody wouldn't say, fuck Emile Beauvais, I ain't doing it. Would he like that? Hell no, he wouldn't. That's what's happening to this country. Democrats have to come together on topics that we kind of agree on, but give each faction something. And work on a way to make it work. So therefore, we can be unified on what the people want. Get out of your own mental, whatever you want. What do the people want? And I don't think you guys are really polling the people. You're trying to appease your billionaires and then think of something that all of these people might like or might accept and run with that, the easy way out. But you need to get down in the dirt and literally do the work. And then find out what each individual party, each part of our party wants, that they would fight for, that they would be so excited if they got, and try and make those things happen together. Now you can seem unified around things that all Democrats are all good people that want things to happen for good people. Make sure it's paid for so that our kids are actually not in debt until our great grandkids. And even the way we're going now, we're going to forever, ever be and have a big and a huge debt, as well as our deficit. It's never going to fucking match up. It's never going to balance. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But we have to do that. If we don't do that, the Republicans, with a small amount, because they're unified, going to always win. These elections, these gerrymandering things. I've always been saying for years, how is it that the Republicans gerrymander every fucking 5 minutes, whenever they want? It's supposed to be every decade. They do it almost at every election. And now we got to go low with them, or even lower, just so that we can balance out this country. Because if they have it their way, it won't be nothing but Republicans in office. They'll gerrymander everything to the point where they can win everything. And you already seen when MAGA has a majority of something, the rule of law is out the window. Supreme Court, they letting all kind of shit go. Today, the Supreme Court said that the judge that Donald Trump and his minions ignored to take those 100-something men but to El Salvador, when they were told to turn the plane back around, they were held in contempt of court until they gave him information about what the hell they did and who decided to turn that damn thing around, or not to turn it around. And instead of giving that name, the Supreme Court today overturned that contempt. That doesn't usually happen. But it does when you have MAGA sympathizers. Not even sympathizers, they're part of fucking MAGA. When you have MAGA people in the Supreme Court is trash. No logical decisions. They should not overturn something where the judge said not to do, and Donald Trump and his minions did it anyway and tried to lie that they didn't know. And then when you found out they did know, they go to Supreme Court to get cover. And the Supreme Court covers them. These people need to be rooted out of politics. MAGA needs to go for this country to thrive. Heritage Foundation needs to go. Project 2025 needs to go. And the only way we can do that is to stay on them, expose them, and educate those. I know they don't want to get educated, but those who didn't know and chose not to vote, we need you. Do it for your country. This is the time. You don't have to enlist for the Army and Navy now to be a patriot. You have to vote. That's being a patriot right now. We're at war right now, and if you don't feel if you have the guts or the love for the country and what it used to be to some degree, if you don't have any love for that, then you don't want to be a part of this country. You want a new country. You want a fascist country. And we saw in that Mehdi Hassan debate where that one white guy literally said, I'm a fascist, even he was creepy as hell. But a few of the other people clapped when he said it. Some people said they're not with him, but they are with him because they were on his side for every other issue. Again, I don't care what ideals you have. The moment you realize you're on the same side as a person who's racist and fascist, you need to rethink what the hell you're working on, that they would agree with that. Someone that egregious would agree with something that you're thinking. You need to rethink that. Because why would you be thinking exactly like a racist, xenophobic person? A person who may not even like you or your family member or whatever. You believe in the same crap that they do. They're mostly hateful plans for other people. You rarely hear these racists really talk about things that will help them. They believe what helps them is getting rid of other people. Because now more jobs for me. Girl on, I guess her name, something like that, on CNN. I showed you yesterday. That's all she's doing. We want to get rid of black and brown people so that there are white jobs. These black and brown people have our jobs. Get them out. We can live better lives, buy a home and all that stuff like that. But your woes and your problems are black and brown people. Not realizing that black and brown people aren't creating their own fucking jobs. And if they are, they got their own business. So they're not a part of that stat. They're talking about living wage jobs. And if people of color are in them, who do they get hired by? Rich white people most of the time. So your beef is with the rich white people. But you're blaming the people of color because you know the rich white people aren't going to get rid of them because they're good at their job. So how do you get them out of their job if they're good at it? Oh, you turn people against their race, their ethnicity, their choice of whom they choose to love or whatever it may be, so that you can get them out by hate instead of getting them out by a valid reason that they're not good at their job. So you know the rich person ain't gonna mess with his money for you. So you choose to fuck with the poor person or middle class person who happens to be black, brown, or other. You choose to mess with them so they get kicked out of the country. That's some crazy ass shit, yo. You can't live off your own merit. You got to kick somebody else off the slide so you can go down. I don't call that supreme. I call that inferior. Because if it's supreme, supreme rises to the top. The supreme doesn't have to cheat to win. It's just innate in you. You're a winner. So calling yourself supreme literally means you think you're a loser, and therefore you got to speak supremacy into existence. And the only way it comes into existence is through your lips, because your existence does not exude supremacy. Half of them don't have their teeth. Others can't speak worth a fucking damn. And these are supposed to be the supreme people, the one where their body parts don't even work right. Got meth mouth and think they the supreme being. The fuck out of here. It's fucking comical. But anyway, you got Bibi Netanyahu saying this on Fox.
After this interview, you will go immediately into a meeting with your security cabinet. Will Israel take control of all of Gaza?
We intend to, in order to assure our security, remove Hamas there, enable the population to be free of Gaza, and to pass it to civilian governance. That is not Hamas and not anyone advocating the destruction of Israel.
Hold it. Hold up. This man wants you to believe, after him and Donald Trump were talking about, well, at least Donald Trump and his son-in-law and others, were talking about, and Elon, about turning it into like this lush resort for Trump, even though that might have been, them clowning everybody and trolling everybody. But then Netanyahu came and met, and Donald Trump was right there next to him at the podium, saying that basically he was going to take over the place. And Bibi was like looking at him like, that's mine. I ain't giving it to you type of thing. He gave him that type of look. But Donald Trump was talking about that America was going to end up taking that land. That also looked at these far leftists and the people who were talking about, we don't need black people helping us. These are some of these Palestinian people that are in America. We got this, blah, blah, blah. You guys suck at supporting your own people. I mean, you fucking suck. You made all the wrong choices for your people. If you hadn't been so racist, you might have heard from black people, because we know a little thing or two about it. But you didn't want to listen, so you had to learn. You know what's so crazy about it? Black people went through way more than you went through in this country, and we fought. And we came out on the other end having better opportunities in life, even though we still go through racism. We tried to warn you with all the wisdom of our ancestors, and you chose to go along with whatever the fuck you went along with that didn't listen to those who've been through it. I was always told as a child, and this is how I've gotten ahead in my life and learned a lot of things because I asked questions. But I was told as a child, listen to your elders, so that you don't have to go through the same things. If there are pitfalls and there are holes in the ground, there's ditches and there's different things, speed bumps, you can go around them if you listen to your elders. You can recognize a problem before it becomes a problem if you listen to your elders when they tell you, turn left, turn fucking left. Because we already don't turn right, and we don't went forward, and we don't came back, and we ain't got shit. We know left is the answer. And instead, you knucklehead shits keep going to the damn turn and turning right and then turning straight or keeping straight and going backwards when the person told you left. The people who turn left are light years ahead of you because you didn't listen to your elders who already don't been down the road in which you want to get to. I mean, why would you want to go through all the hell when somebody can give you the key to heaven like right today? That's just the dumbest thing I ever heard, but that's what happens. A lot of people just want to keep trying people. I'm like, dude, this is simple. Just turn left. It's on the right. Check it out. Turn left, turn right. You there. Nope. Okay. See you 10 years down the road. Some of the dumbest shit ever. But we're going to talk about Netanyahu, what he just said. This man said he's going to take over Gaza. That's the plan. We always said that. But then he said he's going to give it back. Do you understand how much this land is going to be worth? Donald Trump and his son-in-law have already talked, and other but Arab people in other countries have already talked about spending billions of dollars for this property. You think Netanyahu is going to get control of this property and not expand that shit for himself like Putin wants to do with Ukraine, or not be able to put it up for sale and make a cool whatever, so many billions for himself? You really think the man that's been shooting y'all innocent people, letting you starve on purpose, beating you, killing your children, burning your children, raping your children, beating your children, you think that not Netanyahu, the one who is right now at this very second a war criminal, he's going to take your country and give it back to the people in your country? Yeah. I got a river to sell you in the desert. I promise you. All I need is everything you ever have, and promise me everything you'll ever get. And you can have this big ass river in the dry ass desert. If you're that fucking stupid, then you trust Netanyahu. That man is going to steal your property and sell that shit. And if you don't get off of it, he's going to take your life too. He talking about taking it all. Think about it. You might as well, if you're a family member, and this ain't no disrespect, and I feel sorry for the family members who have hostages still over there. Him saying this in the news, let them start bombing the place. Your family members are not coming back. They're going to unalive every last one of them, torture-wise. Why would I give your people back when I'm going to end up, when my fate is going to be death anyway? They're going to try and take me out? Your kids are gone. That's Netanyahu's way. And this man's out here trying to lie. Oh, I'm going to give it back to him. Dude, nobody trusts you. Nobody trusts you. Even your own country is pissed off at you, and you are a war criminal in every other country.
That's what we want to do. We want to liberate ourselves and liberate the people of Gaza from the awful terror of Hamas. And you were in the Gaza Strip today. You met Palestinians who are fighting Hamas because finally they see that they have a future. They can rid themselves of this awful tyranny that not only holds our hostages, but holds 2 million Palestinians in Gaza hostage.
He's trying to say the people that he is trying, the innocent people that he's killed, and the people that he's got pushed into a corner, and they're dying of starvation because of Israel and Bibi Netanyahu. He's trying to push that on the group that's there in Palestine, Hamas. How is that Hamas's deal? You're doing that to them. If you left the fucking country and let them have their fucking country, none of this shit would have happened. They killed like 1,000, 1,200, 12, something like that of your people. You're in the tens of thousands of people, if not 100,000 people. It's not mano a mano. That's not the same, bruh. The deal wasn't to take everybody out of the damn country. Fight fire with fire. You return the same power or a little bit more that you received. And instead, you're destroying a whole fucking country. Where are they going to get the money to build it up? See, Bibi Netanyahu ain't stupid. He going, we're gonna get it, right? And then we're gonna invest $1 billion out of it. I said $1 billion into it. And the Palestinians will owe us money for the rest of their fucking lives and we'll own it, but you can live on it until you pay us off, which you'll never be able to pay them off. I mean, come on, y'all. How stupid can you be? This man's on the news saying this shit like nobody can figure it out.
That's got to end.
Are you saying today that you will take control of the entire 26-mile Gaza Strip as it was 20 years ago to this month in 2005?
Well, we don't want to keep it. We want to have a security perimeter. We don't want to govern it. We don't want to be there as a governing body. We want to hand it over to Arab forces that will govern it properly without threatening us and giving Gazans a good life. That's not possible with Hamas. The only way that you're going to have a different future is to get rid of this neo-Nazi army. The Hamas are monsters. Look at what they're doing to our people. Look at
How's this man call somebody a monster? He got Donald Trump to bomb a country for their nuclear weapons who didn't even have a nuclear weapon. This man's been saying they had a nuclear weapon for the last 20 years, and Donald Trump was the only idiot that believed him.
what they're doing to the way they massacred, raped, beheaded our people, our men and women, burned our babies.
You did the same thing, bro. That's why you're a war criminal.
And they are really cruel to their own people, because when we try to take them away from the combat zones, they shoot them. They want people to.
Yeah, and the kids that were sitting there trying to get something to eat, your soldiers shot and killed them too. Starving people, no weapons. You shot and killed them. Your soldiers did. No weapons, just waiting to get food, and you open fire on an innocent crowd. Fuck you, Netanyahu.
Be civilian casualties. They want a starvation policy that they themselves are trying to put into being, and we're doing everything to reverse that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. None of what he said is fucking true. And you can't be stupid enough to believe that this man is going to spend all this time in wars and killing people when he could have stopped killing a long time ago. Other countries said stop. Joe Biden said stop. All that. Nope, he kept going. He kept going. Donald Trump never said stop, but he told people he could end it in a day. How you going to end it in a day when everybody been telling him to stop? Unless you're going to go to war with them. You want to go to war with them? I mean, we could take out Israel like that. Done. And take back over Israel and give it all to Palestine again. We could do it. That's what you want to do. That ain't what you want to do. So how is it going to work then? We've allowed Israel to do what it's done to Palestine. Israel could defend itself. We don't gave them weapons to fight. It should be over right now. But they haven't listened to us when Biden was there, and they at least with Biden, they had conversation and talks. With Donald Trump, it ain't been shit. They've been over there talking about basically nothing. Donald Trump don't know half the time whether he shat on himself or the sun is out. He has no fucking clue. I can only imagine what Bibi Netanyahu and him talk about. Because Donald Trump can't hold a conversation, and Bibi Netanyahu evil as fuck too. I just wish we could be a fly in the room when we hear them speak, because I promise you it ain't nothing good. Two criminals talking to each other and realizing they're in power. They're probably in there and shocked. I can't believe I'm fucking stupid and I'm the president. Look what they did. They put me in front of them. Little did they know. I'm a rapist and an accused pedophile. We know that already. We know it, Donald Trump. I can only imagine what they go through. But anyway, whole lot of people don't even see your comments if you don't do it right. Your comments are coming up there. I'm going to go ahead and go in here and look what you guys got to say here. It's been a long day for me. Go back to the top and start reading some, just a few before I have to go. First off, again, thank you for playing against Texas. Seems more like a fight than Schumer's strongly worded letter. Right? 5 Alarm? Yeah, most definitely. Thank you for the donation. Nina, thank you for the donation. Thank you for the 10 memberships. 5 Alarm Fire, appreciate it. Let's get back to the top of the comments section. No, I haven't a chance to watch it. I was working all day, then I finally got to do the show. So I end up probably watching it on the weekend when I get a chance. I got a show right after this as well. Thank you, Mark D, for being here. Yeah, impeachment is not good enough. DJ, excuse me, DJ, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Five on Fire as well. Swift Returns. Dennis Petro. These are all my members. I appreciate each one of you. I think that's almost it. Yeah, and let's answer a few questions I can pop up just randomly. Nothing like specific. Let's see here. And let's see. You were speaking to somebody else in the room at that time. I think I saw something earlier where somebody said I didn't want to be a part of something. I'm like, I never said I didn't want to be a part of something. Was it rude? You said that I didn't want to be a part of some Discord or something like that. Yeah, it's not that. I've been very busy, so I haven't been able to get back to people. You can ask Five on Fire. It took us, I think a couple months to finally connect. We connected last night. But I have to keep looking at it. I'm still looking and looking. Such a little BB. Oops, I meant baby. Swift Returns. Dennis, yeah, how about we stop sending money and weapons to Israel? You would hope. But again, knowing the history of this country with Israel, when you know the history of it, you understand why we don't. Just like, everybody today, let's say like today, white people have nothing to do with their ancestors starting slavery, but that is the history of this country, right? And not unless you want to prolong that, it really doesn't have anything to do with you personally, but the history is there. When you look at Israel, America's history, and that's all of us, Black, white, Latin, Asian, everybody under the banner of America, America has its history. We had nothing to do with it. In the history, what we had with Palestine, which, was there before Israel, and the Ottoman Empire and all these different things that happened around the end of World War II, we as Americans at our age now had nothing to do with it. But the history is there, and we're responsible for history. And our history is we helped them colonize a country. The Jewish people at that time colonized Palestine. And America was a huge part of making that happen. Sneaky, and it was a huge part of it. So when you learn the history of all this, you start to understand, even though we as American citizens don't like what's happening, we are in bed with Israel. We created Israel. We are the main reason, not a little bit, we're the main reason they were able to take over that country. We were on the grounds helping them, but we weren't supposed to be fighting, just being around there helping them while they went around, as Bibi Netanyahu says about the Palestinians and how gross they were. The history of it is that the Israeli people back then, Ashkenazi Jews and so forth, those people were out there raping, killing, pillaging the Palestinians, kicked them off their land. Why do you think they're pissed off now? They've had history. Just like black people had history of racism here, they had history of colonization there. And they're pissed off with it. The difference between them is that they've been taking arms up because they keep getting fucked with still to this day. Before Hamas killed those 1,200 people, go look it up. Bibi Netanyahu and his people bombed and killed some people in Palestine first. You saw the retaliation to it. You didn't see the first person that took a strike. Israel went first. And then Hamas figured something out and they attack second. The second part is what the world got up in arms with. The first part is what Bibi Netanyahu and Israel has been doing this entire fucking time to that group of people. The world sees the second strike, not the first. The world is pissed off at the strike that goes toward people who look white. The brown people are the problem. Go back into history and you'll start to see how all this shit came about. And America is more shitty of a country than you think. We have been horrific to other countries. Now, us as a people are different than us as a country. If you can split your mind to understand that. Misty Blues in here. What's up, Tammy? How you doing? I'm about to start the other show here in a minute. Give me about 15. But yeah. So that's my little 2 cents on that. And yeah, I just haven't used it. Like Swift Return says, I'm not like a Discord person. I just started because people in here wanted to have one, but I don't really get a chance to check it. It's not really my domain, but like I said, I'll drop in or something like that, but I wouldn't be able to manage something like that because I got multiple other platforms, and plus I'm creating solutions for us as a people. We need to have solutions to these problems on top of combating them with our words. So it's nothing personal. It's just I'm just too busy for it. But I will stop in, but I can't be checking in on every day because it's not one of my platforms that I'm consistently on. All right. Much love to y'all. Y'all know I'm always out there trying to fight to get things done. And I thank you guys for being here. I got the show on TikTok with the music. Some people have come over there, and it's going to be starting in a little bit on TikTok, Mr. Straight Facts 23. Like old school music, bring 2 requests. I play my list, I play your list, and I close it out. On Sunday, we have jazz and blues, no requests, but then we watch an old school movie. Sometimes it's black and white, but other times it's TV shows we used to watch as kids and so forth. And I do that. I do mental health too on Wednesdays on TikTok. It's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Well, on Wednesday it's 7:30. I'm sorry, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. After I get off this show, Straight Facts, no chase. It's Straight Facts 23 on TikTok. And you also know I'm starting a solution YouTube so that we can provide solutions to each other. Just bring whatever wisdom you have, and when people have problems in here, provide a solution. It's a community. If we can do something like this, we can start healing the world, being able to help people and be a part of something bigger than ourselves. And getting helped and being of help is a community. It's a village, so to speak. And when you're in a village, you help each other out. Your house burned down, people help you build it. That's the type of camaraderie in here. When people are in pain, there's always somebody in here to listen. Even if I'm talking about politics, you guys can talk about what you want. Build a community all you want. I'm going to continue talking about the politics or whatever the thing's going on the day. At the end, I'll probably see 1 or 2 of the comments and respond. You see how I do it. But other than that, you guys have a great night. Again, we're people. I don't play the game, so I'm not sure how it works. Oh, do they play Janet? Yeah. Fuck your feelings one more time. Well, might want to fuck your feelings. I'll close it out with the fuck your feelings. Well, Mike, become a member, man. Become a member. No, I was kidding. I don't be upselling. I should be. I suck at this as far as making money, man. I suck at it. Other people be like, yo, do this, do this, do this, do this. And I'm like, if you want to support me, yeah, you can if you want to. Like I forget to even do it. I'd be like, wait a minute, I gotta push myself, man. I gotta do this here every once in a while. But yeah. Said Janet's fiance in the hospital. Oh, pray for Janet's fiance. I hope he feels better. I don't know what's going on, but prayers lifted up for you. Thank you, DJ. Have a great weekend. 5 on Fire. We have a troll. What troll we got? What troll we got? Let me know. Anybody out here know what the troll is? You want requests, you got to put a quarter in the machine. Exactly, right? Good night, Benny Loco. Take care. Stay safe, sane, and strong. Yeah, you got the email. And let me know who the troll is. Is back in the hospital dangerously low sodium? Oh, low sodium, yeah. Praying for that. Praying that he healing for that. On before Jacob, I created Israel and the land of Palestine. Oh, I see. Yeah, there's a lot of history that was going on. I don't know all the history. I just know some. But yeah, good night, being local. I see some of y'all on the TikTok side here in pretty soon. But other than that, you guys know what we do. So he wants me to say, I'll take this down. What made me like who I am on here or all platforms. And then I'm gonna say my last saying after that. All right, I speak facts, straight facts, no chaser. Fuck your feelings. Y'all take it easy. I see you when I see you.